allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so you're considered a visitor?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. A hearing of visitors is the next agenda item. Do you have anything you'd like to say now, or you want to just go through the meeting agenda?
I prefer to go through the meeting agenda, thank you.
Okay. All right, approval of the minutes for February 14th. Take a few minutes and look at them.
I have looked at them, and I make a motion to approve.
All right,
Darrell, I'll second it.
okay, it's been I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next is vouchers and purchase requests. Any questions?
The aerosol insect killer for the cat, is that for the problem we've been having in the past?
For the insects.
Yes.
Yeah, that was to replenish our supply in the event that we need it.
All right, very good. Very good.
Okay. Any other questions about?
Dave, what first aid supplies do we get? I see we're stocked up. What all do you get?
Just a slew of different things, Daryl, for the first aid station down at the beach, as well as for the Ranger vehicle. For the office, we supply the guys with the first aid kits downstairs at the maintenance shop. Just a wide variety of first aid supplies. Bandages,
How many
band-aids.
first aid kits are you supplying?
Excuse me?
How many first aid kits are getting supplied?
Well, the first aid station gets supplied. We have a first aid kit for the Ranger truck, first aid kit for the office, and then there's a first aid kit downstairs too as well for the maintenance shop.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
What was the insert in the Times News? Membership application inserts?
Yes.
You did do the inserts for family membership?
Yes.
Okay. Have you got many of those back?
We were at one point, and then the membership applications just came to a halt. But yeah, we were getting them back. Now we didn't do it countywide. We had done what we've been doing previous years and kind of just selected certain areas that we wanted to focus on.
And Dunn's Tree Service, how many trees did you get removed?
I want to say there was roughly 40 trees, mainly ash trees, that had succumbed from the emerald ash borer. Mainly down at Boat Launch A, there was a bunch in the main park area around the pavilion. And then he also was going to be taking down a tree at the Environmental Education Center down in the back. That one was a big maple tree.
Okay. And that's all, that work's all done?
Yes.
Okay.
Was everything to your satisfaction, Dave? Tree removal?
Yes.
Did they take the wood away, Dave?
Yeah, they took all that away, either chipped it up, Earl, or they took it off site.
Any other questions about the vouchers?
The Dunn's, I should add too, with Dunn's Tree Service, he also was, he did some stump grinding for us. In areas where you have a lot of foot traffic, we had those stumps ground down so nobody trips.
Okay. I have a motion to approve the vouchers.
I'll make the motion, Terry. Darrell.
I'll second it, Kevin.
You. Properly moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Park operations, COVID-19 up.
Okay, I figure we'll start there with the COVID-19 update. Where we're at right now, initially we had postponed delayed the camping season until May 15th. That has now been extended. That May 15th delay has been extended for non-county residents to June 12th. The camping area will open to county residents only beginning on May 22nd, and then June 12th. The way it stands now is that the camping area will open then to non-county residents. That's just the camping area. The swimming area remains closed. The picnic area and picnic pavilions remain closed, and the boat launches, they are open. They have been open along with the trails and the lake for passive and dispersed recreation. We do have signs throughout the park encouraging people to practice social distancing. You'll find those signs, that signage at the along the trails, by the trails, at the boat launch parking lots, at the main entrance of the park on the bulletin board. And people have been, compliant. We've seen a lot of activity at the boat launches and on the trails, more so than what you would normally see at this time of the year, especially when the weather cooperates. You have, quite a few people that are walking, hiking, fishing, quite a few boats out on the lake. So that hasn't changed. That's going to stay the same. However, we will be opening the restrooms at both boat launches. We'll be opening the restrooms. The camping area, obviously, we'll have the bathrooms open in the camping area. The restrooms at the boat launches will open up, and we are going to be putting the boat docks and the fishing pier in. Now, the play equipment down at the beach, again, the beach area and the swimming area is closed, and the play equipment will remain closed also.
The boat rental going to be open?
Yes, the plan is to have the boat rental open on May 22nd. I talked to Lori about that. We'll be getting. We have one full-time maintenance worker back now. He's been getting caught up with cutting the grass pretty much all week here. The main park area, as well as the around the office, Boat Launch B. We'll be getting another full-time maintenance worker back on Monday, May 11th. And then our seasonal maintenance workers could start on May 12th. So I'm waiting to hear from the seasonal maintenance workers to determine their availability as far as how many hours they could give us. Some of the seasonal maintenance workers, I know at least one has another job, so he does have other commitments. So I'll be waiting to hear from the seasonal maintenance staff. I think they have till Monday to get in touch with me, and then we'll figure out scheduling. To have them come in to help us get ready for for May 22nd. We have the cabins to clean, the main shower building, and the shower buildings to get opened up, as well as putting the docks and the fishing pier in, as well as the boat rental dock. And we do have our emergency dock to get in yet too as well.
I have a question, Dave.
Sure.
At Boat Launch B, will there be a hand sanitizer there? Because I know there's no water.
That's what the CDC guidelines recommend, Earl, is that if there is no water, that you provide, you could provide hand sanitizer, or people could provide their own. But I would say that most people probably aren't going to have their own hand sanitizer. So we do have a a pump here at the office, and I believe they have additional ones with the county maintenance staff. We could look into that, and they're just wall mounted, Earl. They just stick to the wall, and they're like pump dispensers. So yes, we could look into providing something for the people there.
Okay. How many camping reservations do you have for May and early June?
For Memorial Day weekend, we're canceling the non-county reservations. Right now, as far as for county residency, we had a handful. I think there was maybe four sites that were reserved. Now, we did pick up some additional reservations between then and now. I took, I think, 3 reservations the other day, and I believe Missy had taken a reservation or 2 as well from county residents that are calling to looking to camp Memorial Day weekend. So I want to say between the the 4 or 5 that we had and maybe the five or 6 that we picked up, probably in and around 11 or 12 sites.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions regarding the COVID-19 updates?
I did want to add, Terry, about we discussed the need to limit the amount of people in the office.
Right.
We talked about only allowing 2 people in the office at one time to avoid crowding and to maintain that safe distance between one another. So with campers checking in, we're going to ask that we only 2 at a time, that we only deal with 2 people at a time, and ask everybody else to wait outside, whether they're other campers waiting to check in or whether they're family members that are there as well. But just have 2 people at a time in the office to deal with. We're also going to ask that people, and I think we should maybe require that people wear a mask to come into the office. I don't know if anybody has thoughts on that, but I think wearing a mask would be beneficial to not only the visitors and keeping them safe, but the employees too as well. So we were going to put a sign on the door requiring individuals that are coming into the office to register to wear a mask. Now we will have the park office will be open to campers. So when we do open the office for camper check-in on May 22nd, there's going to be other people coming into the office, whether it's looking for general information, looking for trail guides or brochures or pamphlets with our rates, or the launch permits. I thought about people coming in for the launch permits, looking to get a launch permit. It's going to be, and I don't really know how to control that. You're going to have campers coming in, and then you're going to have other visitors coming in looking for information or maybe looking to obtain a launch permit. There you're going to have, non-county residents obviously coming into the office. So that's why we did talk about only allowing 2 people at a time, requiring masks when they come into the office. And we also talked about putting plexiglass, like a barrier between ourselves and the visitors that are coming into the office.
You do need a barrier because of the way the office is laid out. That front counter, you need to have a plastic shield coming down if possible to protect you and the campers. And I think that every camper needs to be notified that when they're registering they must wear a mask. So that has to be done before they get there because they may not have masks.
But I was going to bring that up.
With the launch permits, what we can do is, I don't know whether, because launch permits take some time to process. They have to fill out the application. We have to collect the check payable to the PA Fish and Boat Commission. There's a $2 cash issuing fee. So I don't know whether maybe we want to just let people know that we're not doing launch permits right now. and that they could obtain them on the Fish and Boat Commission website online, which is what they've been doing now. The office is closed, so anybody that's looking for a launch permit, we're referring them to the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission website, where they could do it online. They could print out a temporary launch permit, or they could even take a screenshot of their purchase, and the Waterways Conservation Officers are honoring that. So I really think that
you don't want to be handling any more cash than you absolutely have to.
Yes, and I think it'll really slow things down. The launch permits. With only having 2 people in the office at a time, I think dealing with launch permits would really complicate matters. As far as getting backed up and having too many people waiting to get into the office, and you're right, Terry. I mean, it'll lessen the interaction. It'll lessen the close.
Who are you handling the money?
Correct. Yes, and it'll lessen that interaction that we're having, close interaction with people. So we talked about suspending the launch permits in the office, referring them to the Fish and Boat Commission website. Only dealing with check-ins. You're gonna have some people coming in looking for information, so we are gonna require people coming into the office to wear masks. Only 2 people at a time. And Chris is here, so we'll look after the meeting here to talk about the barriers that we could put up, to keep a distance between or a barrier between ourselves and the people coming into the office.
Okay. Anybody else about COVID?
Yes, Terry, for Dave. As far as the sanitized conditions of the restrooms and the showers in the camping facilities, Dave, what does the CDC recommend, or what are you going to do as far as people going in there taking showers, using the restroom? How are you going to keep up with that, Dave? And also, is the camp store going to be open? And is Mr. Brown aware of any procedures that he has to follow or guidelines?
No, the camp store, from what I understand, they will be open. Chris, do you want to elaborate on the camp store?
Yeah, just Mr. Brown, we just had a quick conversation with him the other day. We are setting up, the commissioners are going to sit down with him and have a more formalized discussion. Mr. Brown is inclined to open the camp store and the concession stand. But again, we're going to formalize that in a discussion that is being set up with him.
Okay. Yeah, there needs to be a clear understanding of what precautions he has to take, because the camp store, not so much as the food concession, is a heavy traffic area.
Right. Thank you, Terry, and I'll make sure we emphasize that with him, and to ensure it's discussed with Dave in detail, so Dave has a level of comfort with the measures that he'll be taking.
Good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And the restroom facilities, Dave, I mean, as far as sanitizing, I didn't hear your comment on that.
I mean, they'll be cleaned. The guys will be in. They clean them every morning and check them periodically, throughout the day. They use the Clorox, the bleach to clean the bathrooms, and we'll take a look at the CDC guidelines and recommendations too as well.
Especially when the camping goes open.
Excuse me, sorry.
That's okay, Jerry. Especially once the camping season gets into its full swing, is what we can open the doors for. People are coming from all over.
You may want to think about increasing the frequency instead of daily, maybe do it twice a day as the campground gets busier. We know how the shower and bathrooms get at any campground during the busy season.
Exactly, Kevin.
I'll discuss it with Jack, and then when Howie gets back, and talk about certain cleaning times where we could get in there during the day, in the morning and during the day as well.
Okay, are we ready to move on to the lifeguard incentive policy?
Ready to move on.
Okay. At the
Terry, I have a question about the restrooms.
Right. What?
Is there a possibility to have like a time slot per campsite when they could shower so they're not jammed in there? Like say campsite 50 would shower at 10 a.m. and 52 at 10:15 and
A sign-up sheet to use the showers is not a bad idea because then you would only have one person at a time, using the facility. So that's complete.
give them a time slot. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think that everybody needs to be made aware of that when they're checking in. If you're going to initiate that. You can't take a shower whenever you feel like it. In this situation, you need to be considerate of the other campers and keep your distance, etc. So maybe a schedule for showering is not a bad idea. There's people who like to shower in the morning, others who want to do it at night, so you should be able to break it up. And considering that you don't have that many campers, it shouldn't be a big problem.
Right.
anything else under the COVID-19?
Okay, that's it for me. Okay, lifeguard incentive policy.
Okay, the at the Carbon County Board of Commissioners meeting of this was February 20th. They adopted a policy, lifeguard incentive policy. This is what we had discussed back in February, I believe. And the policy is the purpose to recruit and retain individuals for the position of lifeguard at Mock Chunk Lake Park. Some of the procedures: the county will continue to reimburse the cost of background checks and clearances for all individuals hired as lifeguards, so long as they provide proper receipts and documentation. The county, during the first year of employment as a lifeguard, will reimburse the employee 50% of training and research costs, provided the employee has worked a minimum of 200 hours for the season, and upon presentation again of the proper receipts and documentation. And then the county, during the second year, they would get that remaining 50%. The 50% balance of the training and recertification costs would be paid to the employee during their second year of employment. Again, as long as the employee has worked a minimum of 200 hours for the season, and as long as they provided proper receipts and documentation.
My only question about that is, considering that we don't know when the beach is going to open, is the number of hours going to be impossible for them to meet?
Terry, the last point is now the county, it does say here, reserves the right to rescind or revise the policy at any time. So I would think that the commissioners would consider revising it or adapting it to this unique situation.
Because at this point we don't know when the beach is going to open, right?
Correct. Yeah. The state parks, they're saying possibly June 8th, I believe, is what the state parks were saying. At the earliest, June 8th for the beach areas. Let me see. At least June 6th, I'm sorry. Swimming beaches statewide will be closed until at least June 6th. So those dates are subject to change, I guess, depending on what happens here during the month of May and with the whole COVID-19 situation, whether it stays the same, if it gets better, or if it gets worse.
Have you been in contact with any of the lifeguards other than the two that you said were going to come on board?
Yes, I've been in contact with the ones that have submitted applications as far as training dates and locations. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the trainings, not a lot, all the trainings have either been postponed or canceled. I did get an email update from the Indian Mountain Lakes course that's being run. So it sounds like they're going to be going to Zoom for like an online part of it for the coursework, and it looks like they are planning on having like an in-person skills test training for the swimming part of it. So I did send that information to the individuals that submitted applications, and directed them to contact the instructor with any questions as far as how to set it up with Zoom and how much it might cost. So I have been in communication with the ones who have applied. Now we did get phone calls from others. I got an application from a lifeguard that was with us last year. She had left towards the end of the season to go back to school. She, I believe, I believe she works in a hospital. I'm not sure whether she works as a nurse or what exactly her profession is, but she was interested in coming and helping us out and working a few days. So I do have her application. She has her certification. Her certification is still good as far as lifeguarding. She might have to get the clearances again, however, because the clearances are only good for they can't be any older than a year from the date of hire. They have to be within a year from the date of hire, the date of the clearances. So she may have to get her clearances again. And we did receive a phone call just the other day from a individual who was looking to apply. I know I did get an email from the HR director this morning. I didn't open it yet, but it's a lifeguard application, so it may be the one that called and inquired yesterday.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we just have to keep them, the lifeguards who are on board and those who may want to come on board, updated as we get more information about when the beach is actually going to open.
I did want to add, Terry, I did want to add that the two lifeguards that we did have, that coming into this season, and they were both really good employees, and the county had recognized involved somehow, so that we don't lose them to another job or another employer. So both of those lifeguards that were on payroll that are coming back, that one is going to be transitioned to a ranger, like a temporary position, like a ranger position, and then the other one is going to be transitioned to like a park attendant, and they'll be temporary positions where when the swimming area does open up again, they will go to the beach area, the swimming area. They will go back to their lifeguard positions.
Somebody to start. That's great.
Yeah. Those positions were approved yesterday at the commissioners' meeting at the salary board, so they're good.
Good.
Yep.
Good. That's great. Anything else on lifeguards? Anybody have anything they want to add?
No, not at this moment for me, Terry.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. Next item is the boat mooring. What's going on with that, Dave?
Well, we did it differently this year because of the situation with the COVID-19. We did it where people called in rather than having them stand out here and be waiting in the parking lot to get their mooring spot for the season. We had reached out to the individuals who've been with us for a number of years and who are here on opening day every year. So we were able to do that and get everybody their spots that they've had for a number of years. The ones that are here every year on opening day, the first day, and then we accepted phone calls for mooring spaces where people called the office. What we'll do is put them in the system. We'll wait for their payment to come in along with a copy of their registration, because we do need to see a boat registration. It's required to have a mooring space. And then once we receive the payment and a copy of their registration, we send them the agreement for the space, the user agreement, that they need to sign and then send back to us. So right now, mooring is we have about 80% of our funds, our revenue, we've received for mooring. We have some spaces that are left, but a lot of people, a lot of new people are purchasing mooring spots, mooring spaces. I think a lot of people are just looking for something maybe new to do that they haven't tried before, and people are just anxious to get out, just to get outside, and boating is safe. You can
We're all
practice.
anxious to get anywhere.
Right.
That's the point.
So the mooring went well.
Good. Are the boats out of storage?
Yes.
Hi,
We got the boats out of storage. I think it was like towards the end of March.
okay.
Before that April 1st, they could have the mooring boats moored at the park from April 1st to they have to be removed by December 1st. So anybody that had purchased a mooring spot, we got them out of storage right away and placed them at their mooring space for them.
Hey, that does it for boat mooring and storage. How about park maintenance? What's happening there?
Oh, I mentioned that we have the one full-time worker back with us here. He started on Monday. Pretty much the week has involved getting caught up with the grass, the mowing. We had got the grass cut around the office at Boat Launch A. He was down at Boat Launch B, the main park area. You have the down by the Penn State Extension office. There's quite a bit down there, as well as the Gehring property and Camp Apple Tree. So lot of grass to cut, and we're just getting caught up with that now. And then our other full-time maintenance worker is going to start on May 11th, and then the seasonal workers, as I mentioned, they could start as early as May 12th. We do have to get the water tested before we open, so that is scheduled for either May 14th or the 21st. It doesn't sound like we're going to be able to do it on the 14th, so we'll shoot for the 21st. Pottsville Environmental will come in and they'll test the water, drinking water specifically is what is tested. The outside spigot at the main shower building, I know he tests there, as well as other places where people obtain water. So that will have to be done on the 21st in order to open for the 22nd. So next week the game plan is we're probably going to have to flush the lines. Water's been sitting in the lines for a period of time, so we'll flush the lines out, and then get all the bathrooms cleaned and ready to go, as well as the cabins. We have 15 cabins to clean. So that would be within the next 2 weeks, as well as the docks. I mentioned getting the docks in. We have the 2 boat docks, the boat rental dock, or emergency dock. Will have to get put into place, as well as the fishing pier.
Okay. Just a question about how far did you get on the shoreline trail and making furniture and those kinds of chores that were supposed to be done over the winter before all this hit?
Well, the shoreline trail was, we just have a couple trees to blaze. That's done, pretty much done, Terry, the shoreline trail, as far as all the walkways and footbridges that we were constructing in that one section. So that project was completed, and then we moved on to the pavilion roof. We were making good progress on the roof, but then unfortunately this situation hit. So the pavilion roof right now has been on hold.
Which pavilion is that?
That's the Ginder Pavilion, and I mean the one side they have everything ripped off, and they were replacing some of the boards. We just got the beams because we want to replace the support beams on that pavilion too as well. They were just delivered the other day. We have the metal roofing, we have plywood, we have most of the materials that we need. Just a matter of getting back on it at some point in time.
Dave, I'd like to comment on the Shoreline Trail.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
The first section from Boat Launch B to that large handicap boardwalk is very nice. They did a really nice job. West or east of that, there are several bridges with boards missing and in bad need of repair.
Yeah, we realize that, Earl. That's going to be the next stretch section of trail that we work on. So that was scheduled to be next.
Okay.
I don't know when we'll get to that. You know, especially once
Right.
once the season hits. That's those types of projects, Earl. They're good to do in the off season.
Right,
You know,
right.
when you don't have as much of the routine stuff going on, when the crowds die down, that's when we could focus our attention on things such as trail work. But yeah, we do realize that, and that's going to be the next stretch that we work on from the parking lot there by Ferentz's going east towards the campgrounds.
Right, and there also seems to be a littering problem developing out there. There's quite a bit of litter. I would have taken a bag with me had I known, but if we don't clean that up, it's going to breed more litter. It seems to be getting worse.
Along the trail there, Earl?
Yeah, there's a couple campfire areas, and people have been starting to litter pretty heavily in there.
Right off the trail you're talking about?
Yeah, right off the trail west of the handicap boardwalk. Or, I'm sorry, east of the handicap boardwalk.
All right, we'll have to have somebody go in there and check it out.
Yeah, because once it starts, they just keep, adding to the pile.
Anything
Maybe
else?
maybe a no littering sign or something also at the head of the trail wouldn't hurt.
No, any reminder they get is good. Anything else on park maintenance?
Nothing planned, Terry.
Okay. Let's go to park security then.
Okay. Right now we have limited scheduling. We have had rangers coming in the evening hours, weather permitting, as long as we have the activity, that would warrant the coverage. They've been providing coverage until like 8, in the evening times, 8 o'clock. We'll take a look at that coverage and possibly extend it as the days get longer and the weather gets warmer. And as the activity increases with the warmer weather and the longer days, in addition to some weekend coverage, lot of activity as I mentioned, but so far we haven't had any major problems. People have been respecting one another's space, social distancing, a lot of activity on the lake as far as fishing and boating, as well as walking the trails. We are losing one ranger. He's going to be moving to the sheriff's department full time. So we'll be losing. His last day is the 17th, and he'll be leaving and going to the sheriff's department, at least from what I understand, on May 18th. So he was an enforcement ranger, so we'll lose that enforcement ranger. Now we did pick up. I told you, one of the lifeguards. He was a really good employee. So he's gonna transition to a ranger position for the time being until the swimming area opens up. And there are a few other applications that I'm looking at. However, right now I think there is a hold on hires within the county. You can make a recommendation, but from what I understand right now, the county is not hiring right at this point. So You know, with the lifeguard that's going to be helping us out, and I have a few others. You know, we'll be able to provide the basic coverage, you know, for the park. Now, you know, keep in mind with the swimming area closed and the picnic area closed, the schedule is going to look a lot different than when it would, you know, during a normal season. So we're not gonna need as many. We're not gonna have to fill as many shifts. So, you know, I'll be taking a look at the schedule probably mid-May for June, and like I said, maybe adjusting the schedule for evening coverage, particularly when the campgrounds open up, because, you know, just to kind of keep a watch on things. You know, we'll be looking at it in the morning. We have a night entrance, so I think, you know, the Rangers will be monitoring the night entrance, monitoring who's coming and who's going. We'll take a look at that in the mornings too, as well, and when we're doing our rounds, just to make sure that you know, those that are camping with us are supposed to be camping with us, so we don't have anybody that shouldn't be there that isn't registered. As well as like checking the driver's licenses. When we have check-ins, you know, May 22nd, it's county residents only. So we'll have park rangers providing coverage at the office for checking in campers, checking driver's licenses, and then we'll check that as well during the day, monitoring the you know, the park area with the night entrance being open, just to make sure that you know, we don't have anybody in the campgrounds that shouldn't be in the campgrounds.
There haven't been any major incidents, no incident reports in the last couple of weeks or month?
No, nothing major, Terry. I mean, yesterday we had some boat issues, you know, so that was handled yesterday. I was down here, you know, I'm not sure what time it was, but we have the boat back here behind the office. I have to call the Fish and Boat Commission, you know, concerning the boat. And the you know, the issue. There was a lot of safety issues. Really, that boat shouldn't have been out on the lake, and they didn't have the, you know, the proper safety equipment. So the matter is going to be referred to the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission Waterways Conservation Officer for follow up and enforcement.
Anybody have any other questions about park security?
No.
Something on park security, but I have a question on the beach for you, Dave. Are there guidelines if and when the beach does open up, as far as guidelines from the CDC that, you know, you must follow? Are you aware of anything, or?
As far as beaches?
Yes.
Well, you would have the social distancing, you know, rules would be in effect, as well as, I mean, right now it's the gatherings of, you know, I believe it's no gatherings of 10 or more people. You're maintaining social distancing. Right now, we've had people walking into the park following the main road. You know, we haven't had any issues with, you know, with crowds or people congregating at the beach area. But again, that's something that we'll have to, you know, keep a watch on, and maybe we'll have to take a look at that, you know, later in May. If we do have a lot of people going down to the, you know, to the beach, then, you know, maybe we want to just, you know, eliminate people from going in there altogether if we're going to be having issues with it. We are going to keep the main gate closed. The main gate is going to stay closed, so we shouldn't have traffic going in there, cars parking down at the beach area. Campers are going to be directed into the night entrance to get to their campsites. So I think that'll help by having the main gate closed and blocking the main entrance to traffic and directing the campers into the to the night entrance.
So the bathrooms at the beach will remain closed, right?
We'll eventually open them up, Terry, at some point. That was one thing that we did talk about is opening the restroom facilities in the campgrounds, as well as the picnic area. So at some point, I believe we'll be opening those bathrooms down at the beach area. I don't know that we'll have them open for May 22nd. You know, we only have a couple weeks, and I think the priority would be the main shower building. Main shower building is they did get started on that before all this hit, so At the main shower building for sure will be open May 22nd, and we would like to have also the other shower building in the campgrounds open for the 22nd, just so that way we have 2 bathrooms and it provides people with, with different options and spreads them out more.
Question on the beach there.
Go ahead, Earl.
You know the square footage of the beach, and it'd probably be a good thing to have to know the square footage so we can have an idea of how many people you can allow in once the beach opens. I don't know if you would break it into I was thinking like a grid pattern and so many people per section. I don't know the square footage, but just so you don't overcrowd.
Yeah, I'd have to have Jack take a look at that and take some measurements. I know the drawings. I know I looked at the drawings before when the park was built, and I could look at that again, see if I can come up with a rough idea.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to special activity requests. Do we have any?
Harry,
No.
one quick question before we move on. It's under old business. Dave, is there any updates on the heating system? I know we talked at the previous meeting at the office. As far as you needing a new oil burner there, have you looked into that and looked into propane also?
The county went with the smaller oil burner, not quite as big as the one that was here. I know we had a couple individuals look at it, and they felt that the unit that we had here was just, too big for something this small. So we went with the smaller oil burner, and that's been installed. I think back in maybe, was it late March or early April is when the installation when they installed the new oil burner.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I didn't hear an update on it. So okay, thank you, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, special activity.
That's it for me, Terry. Go ahead.
All right.
I don't have any special activities at the moment, and I'm not sure how we want to handle special activity requests at this point in time. That was what I was going to ask you, is if we felt that we want to just kind of put them on hold for now until we know more about what's going to happen. I know there's an individual, he's interested in having a powwow, and it's in September, I believe, is when he's planning it. Right after Labor Day. I think it's after the weekend after Labor Day. It's a 2 days he's planning, a Saturday and a Sunday for a powwow festival. And then I also got a call from an individual today. He's looking to do a summer camp for kids. It's a church looking like it's like a summer day camp for kids at one of the pavilions, similar to the other camp that we have here. So I'm not really sure, given the restrictions on gatherings and crowd sizes, I don't know what we want to do about special activity agreements, if we want to be approving them now or if we just want to put it on hold for the moment. The half marathon, I know that was postponed until late September. The children's fishing contest, that has been canceled. That was on May 17th. So they canceled that for the year. The Community Safety Day on May 2nd, that was canceled. Again, the half marathon has been postponed till late September. So I don't know what the board's thoughts are with special activity agreements at the time, whether we want to approve them or just kind of...
The safety day is not going to happen. It's not been postponed. It's just canceled.
Which one, Terry?
The safety day, when they have all the vendors there and the kids.
That was canceled. They're not having it this year. The children's fishing contest, they're not having that this year. That was on May 17th. The half marathon that was on May 16th has been postponed until a later date in September.
activity request based on the date and how many people they anticipate having participate in these things before we make a judgment one way or the other. And we have to also go by whatever the CDC guidelines are at the time that they want to have the event.
So do we want to begin approving them and sending them down to the county, or just kind of keep it on hold right now until things change?
Well,
I believe we almost have to put it on hold, Dave, until we see this is uncharted water, and find out each month. We're going to take it month by month and see how this goes with the governor opening up, putting us into a yellow zone or whatever's going to happen, one day at a time. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Earl?
Well, would yellow make that acceptable?
I believe in the yellow phase,
Goes to
25. The group size goes from 10 to 25. So any of these events that we're talking about are going to be well beyond 25 people.
then you can't approve anything because we're not even near the yellow stage yet. So that it seems ludicrous to approve them and then have to call them and say no, you can't have it because the guidelines haven't changed. So I would hold them open.
Yeah, I would also. I agree.
Okay. And then I did remember, I forgot to mention the group camping. Group camping right now is, the state parks have that shut down. Looking at the reservations, we did have one group site that was reserved between May 22nd and June 12th from a county. It's a county troop. There again, it's going to be over the 10 people, I would imagine. For the group site. Do we want to eliminate that group site and have them, maybe rescheduled to a later date, or offer them a refund? That was the one thing that we didn't think about the group camping. All of them up until June 12th were non-county. There was one in there that was county. So what we were going to do was reach out to them and either refund them or offer them a rescheduled date to a later date.
I'd go with the rescheduled date if I were you. See if that's acceptable to them. And also, you have to watch the numbers. How many people are going to be involved?
Yeah. Yeah, the group camp, I mean, you need a minimum of 10 to even just to reserve a group site. So it's going to be over the threshold.
But then your only option is to offer them a different date. Later in the season, hopefully.
I'm inclined to go along with you, Terry, on that one.
Yeah, I agree. It's most likely have more than 10 people for that weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Until we move to yellow, we can't afford to risk that.
Yeah, even with the camping area open, the groups are going to present a challenge because, you're going to have, some of the groups are 20, 30, 40, 40 people. They'll reserve multiple group sites. So I don't know how we do the group camping when the gathering size is limited to 10, or even in the yellow phase it goes to 25.
Well, if we had 2 group sites available, maybe you could break them up and no activities as a group. Maybe they could split it in 2.
You have to offer the people the options and make sure that they understand what the rules are so that you don't have an enforcement problem when they do show up.
I'm sorry, Terry, again?
I said, if you're going to operate the group sites even at a later date, even in the yellow zone, you have
Right.
to make sure that they understand what the numbers are and what the restrictions are so that when they do show up, you don't have an enforcement problem. anything. We don't have any firm dates to work with.
Right, the numbers can change too. If the governor moves us into the yellow zone, numbers can change as far as groups, and the situation can change. It's fluid.
Right.
So as of right now, we want to eliminate the group camping. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, postpone it.
Yeah, but
Well, yeah, I mean postpone it. Yes. In other words, the camping area for non-county residents is opening on June 12th. You know, do we want that to include group camping? Which I guess we can't because.
can't make that decision because we don't know what stage we're going to be in. If it's the same as it is now, if it's not in the yellow zone, you have to cancel.
Exactly. If we're in the red zone, I mean, you can't go against that. You have to wait and see.
Right.
Okay. That's all I had for special activity requests then.
Okay. Correspondence.
Nothing for correspondence.
Okay. Anybody have anything they want to talk about? Add to the meeting?
Yeah, something also on the beach again, Terry. I would think that if Beltsville Beach is not open, we shouldn't be open because we'll have an influx of people.
We sure will. That's a good point, Earl. If the state park beaches aren't open, I wouldn't be comfortable opening our beach because we'll be overwhelmed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the beach is gonna really that'll present a lot of challenges for sure as far as controlling who comes in and who doesn't come in and.
Hopefully we have a cool summer.
So far.
We're on that schedule.
Give me a second, Earl. I'm looking for the warm weather. Looking forward to warm weather, Earl.
Yeah, me too.
All of us are.
Especially since our trip got canceled, Terry.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, Commissioner Chris, do you have anything to add or say?
Yeah,
Just
just
coming to the meeting and opening us out with all you've done so far.
Yeah, just a couple comments. First and foremost, on behalf of myself, Wayne, and Rocky, we want to thank you all for the flexibility of some of kind of the expeditious decision making that we have to make, outside of a full formal consultation with this body. So thanks for your understanding. I want to also recognize Dave for his flexibility in working with us and bringing, the issues and concerns to us as soon as they pop up so we can help address them, such as the 2 lifeguards,